Hey, listeners and viewers, welcome to a special edition of Run Brevard, the Run Brevard podcast. We are coming at you from our respective homes. I'm one of your hosts, Katie Parsons, coming to you from my studio where we normally record, but because of social distancing and coronavirus, we are talking to you guys from different places. So what's up, Pete? Where are you?
I am on my back porch because Amelia's sleeping.
That is a good reason. How about you, John?
I guess you could call this my man cave, predicted, like where all my instruments are and my
Nice.
computer. So, yep.
Yeah. And is that where you normally record the vlogs for your YouTube channel? Or some of them anyway?
At least part of it, yep.
Softball.
Okay,
Come on.
So that's another thing. If you have some time on your hands because you're home a lot now, you should check out John's YouTube channel. Are you still keeping the vlogs up even with all the coronavirus craziness?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to do right now other than, I feel like a lot of people who don't even daily vlog right now are just even putting up daily vlogs because, what else do they have to do right now? There's no one's traveling. Everyone's lives have kind of slowed down a little bit. So like some of my favorite YouTubers who hadn't been daily vlogging are now daily vlogging because they have more time in their hands. But yes, I've been daily vlogging for about 50 days now. The one I put up actually this morning was daily vlog number 50. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Lots of push-ups.
Yeah. Lately I've been, everyone's been doing those push-up challenges, like you tag people and tell them to do like 10 push-ups or whatever. We started one, I guess it was last Monday now, and I suckered Pete into it for part of it, at least.
Yeah.
And it's way harder than, tagging someone and doing 10 push-ups. So you do like an all-out test, and then you do a percentage of that every hour. So like today, I was actually supposed to be doing 22 push-ups every 20 minutes, and I said, there's no freaking way. So I pushed those 22 back to like every hour, and I still probably missed a couple of those on the hour marks just from us in meetings and whatnot.
Yep.
So how many is that in a day then? How many hours are you doing that?
I mean, most of the time I've been starting like around like 8 a.m. and going until like whenever I go to bed. So like the one day that I counted the number of push-ups I did in the day, it was sometime last week, and I know I counted 210 push-ups that I'd done for the day. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, why not? So
yeah.
What else do we have going on, right?
Yeah, I guess it's a good time for that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have been doing a lot more fitness, at least what you can do, because most gyms are closed, and obviously official group activities are canceled. So I've been running, on my own or, with my neighbor, 6
and I would
feet
say a
away
lot of
from me.
people who are like, normally would go to gyms and like, on a regular schedule, we've seen them in the store like, well, I can't go to the gym right now, so I might as well run. I need some running shoes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're used to going out of the house to do things like that, that makes a lot of sense. I've been doing my Peloton a lot too. They actually added dance classes that I don't think were supposed to align necessarily with coronavirus. They have a new studio, so I think that's why.
Sure.
But I've been doing some cardio dance, and I'm not a great dancer, so thankfully I can see them, they can't see me, but it's been a fun thing to add. Again, like you said, because I have a little more time.
Is there a Britney Spears themed dance class?
Not yet. There's only like 5 of them up, whereas like the cycling, there's hundreds of classes, so you can literally like put the artist you want, Britney Spears, and they'll find every single one that has her music, or if there's one that has more than others. You can put the time length, you can put the instructor you want, like everything. But the dance classes, there's only a couple, so still kind of trying to get the hang of them. But they've got yoga on there, meditation, all kinds of stuff that people could be doing. And I know a lot of people are doing that just online, YouTube or whatever apps they usually use. So it's kind of, at least where we live, I feel like fitness has kind of stepped up a little because of this, because it is nice outside and you can go for a walk with your family or you're by yourself or run. I know people who I know that live in other states, it's still cold some places. I think it snowed on St. Patrick's Day up in Chicago, which listeners, I was supposed to go. Yeah, listeners, I was supposed to go. We ended up postponing that trip because of everything going on and just not wanting to travel with all the germs. And but then when I heard it snowed that day, I was kind of like, it's all right. I'll go another day. It's no big deal. But so what's going on in the store then? I know I've seen some things on Facebook and Instagram about the new way things are operating.
So we've got some modified hours. We're really trying to facilitate as easily as possible curbside pickup. We've always kept a database of customer purchases. So we're trying to get people that just need, something they know they've already got before, call ahead, pay for it over the phone. We'll bring it out to you. The whole contactless everything. I've put out there on my personal social special same day delivery options. I know I told you that I wouldn't ride my bike over the causeway, Katie, but I did a same day delivery today. Somebody just up the street, and it was super easy. And starting, let's see, we're recording this on the 31st, starting tomorrow. So it's not an April Fool's joke. We are going to have an online option with same day local delivery that's being sponsored by Brooks. Brooks has always been one of our best partners, and not just for us, but for a lot of the running stores in the country. Brooks is partnering with a company called Locally that integrates our inventory feed to an online site that customers can go to, see what we have in our store, purchase it, and for the foreseeable future, Brooks is going to pay the same day delivery fee through Postmates as the delivery service. So anything we have in our store from Brooks, you can order and get it the same day with no additional fee. So that's a pretty cool setup. Does involve other vendors that we can do the same program with. It just there would be a delivery fee, and that also allows us to do reserve online, pick up in store. You can reserve online, pay online, and then do curbside pickup, or you can do the same day delivery for Brooks products for free.
Wow, that's great. I might actually do that, because I've been talking about, okay, should I make an appointment and come over? And, but if I already know what I want, I can just order it and pick it up curbside or whatever.
Yep.
Or I guess if it can be delivered for free, maybe I'll just do that. Hey, who knows? That's great. Okay, so that starts tomorrow, April 1st, and that'll go until we know.
Typically, it's something we could offer indefinitely. Whether we'll continue that or not, we'll see after this all ends. But for now, it's a great option to get product to people in a relatively easy manner. So
yeah,
it's a tough line to walk with us. We our mission is to help people find the best shoe for them. It's not always the easiest thing to do if you're not in store, but as the circumstances have restricted us, we've got to kind of adapt our business model to survive. So at least for right now, I think this is a great option. Even going forward, the hold and pick up in store, I think we will definitely continue, and we'll see how the same day delivery goes. And if not, I'll just be driving people their shoes and stucking them on their porch like I did today.
I have a quick
little
question.
Doorbell and ran.
I have a quick question regarding your delivery today.
Okay.
Had you planned on getting pizza? Is that why you volunteered yourself to do delivery, or was that just a coincidence?
I saw what the address was for the product in question, and I knew that it was very close to us. And then when I decided I was going to not do the shipping label and deliver it myself, I decided we've been, sidebar here, but we've been really trying to support local restaurants during this time, specifically Long Doggers. We've been going to Long Doggers a lot, getting takeout. I love their idea to sell groceries in their to-go option. It's a little weird. We went there on Monday and we ordered our lunch, and instead of saying, do you want fries with that, or do you want a drink with that, it was, would you like some toilet paper with that, or do you need any paper towels with that? So we got some paper towels with our buffalo chicken wraps. But yeah, no, I knew where my delivery was going, and I knew one of my favorite local restaurants in that area, and I was going to go see them. I got some pizza from Tracy's Lounge today, and it was delicious. I split it with Randy.
That does sound good. Yeah. Well, you guys might have just heard that. That was a puppy barking in my house. So
explain
that's
yourself.
happening. That's happening. No, we've been in the market for, well, let me rephrase this. Myself and my children have been in the market for a dog, probably at least a year. My kids longer than that. But, you know, there's always a good reason not to bring a pet into your house. So there's always something. And for a while, it was a giant hole in our backyard, and, you know, when they were digging our pool and those sorts of things. So I had talked about looking this summer because everyone would be home and that would be the perfect time. Well, guess what? Everyone's home now. So I kind of started looking. I looked lots of different avenues. My mother-in-law knows a lot of breeders down South Florida, so we kind of looked there and looked in a bunch of rescues. I looked at a place in Oviedo. There was this like high stakes get a puppy Facebook kind of thing going on where like if you were the first one to comment, you could maybe meet the dog. I know it's this whole big thing. We spent like a whole afternoon doing it. We couldn't get a dog. So, but Aloha here, Aloha Adoption and Rescue posted a dog yesterday that was in a foster home, 10-month-old, mostly lab puppy. So we went and met her last night, and then she spent the night, and she's been here today. She actually doesn't bark very much. I've heard her bark twice. Once was when Erin woke up at 5:30 this morning and came out of her room. She barked at her until she realized it was her. So she's very sweet. I'm guessing she's going to stay, but this is only day one. So we'll
Does
see.
puppy have a name?
Her name's Matilda. She had a different name, and then the foster parent gave her that name, and that happens to be a name we like. My kids really like that musical. Mm-hmm. And so, and you know, in the story, Matilda's kind of like this kid her parents don't want or whatever. So, but she ends up being really awesome. So we thought it was a good name, so we'll probably keep it. But
it's cool.
We'll see. Yeah. So please don't mind the children and the animals in the background, please. And she hasn't met Nike yet, our hamster. We're keeping Nike up pretty high for now. We're gonna wait on that one as long as we possibly can.
Probably a good call, yeah.
Yeah. But what about you guys? Are you doing anything besides these push-up challenges? Are you doing anything new or exciting in this time? I mean, I know you're still working a lot, but do you find that you still have more time simply because other things aren't going on? Other engagements?
Well, we, you know, John and several people at the store have been training for their marathon that was canceled. So we attempted a makeshift marathon, running a couple different 4-mile loops around the store last weekend, and had some mixed results. I'll let John fill you in on the details.
So we had 3 people running it. I decided to forego the marathon. I figured it'd be the loneliest 26 miles of my life. And I mean, I already did the loneliest 31 miles of my life, but yeah, you know, I decided to ride a bike alongside Courtney, and unfortunately the day did not go the way she had hoped, but I am very proud of her for sticking through the 4 and 5 months of training. So I know she's looking forward to eventually doing another one, and being able to call herself a marathoner. So I know she's not ready yet, I would say, for the next one, but it's a long training process, but she's looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, so it was like a practice before she does her real one. So that's pretty good. Yeah.
Katie Johnson and Tracy, they did run their full marathon. Keith and I ran a little bit with them, and then I rode the bike for their last. I ran 9, and I think they were at mile 20 when I was done running, and then I rode the bike with them, and John cooked us pancakes.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And Keith also made some eggs, some bacon, and some cinnamon rolls on a waffle iron, right? That's what you threw them on, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a little morning cookout in Race House.
Yep.
That sounds amazing. That was probably more fun than any fun you could have at a real marathon.
The finish line was spectacular. We were able to find some caution tape in Race House, and Andy happened to be wearing a ventilator mask. So, or I don't know if that's the correct term for it, but it's like not a ventilator mask, but the breathing mask that has the giant like bulbs off the sides of it here.
Hazmat?
Yeah.
Hazmat mask? Yeah. I think I saw a picture of that. But he had normal clothes on with the mask, right?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I saw
the board shorts, the tank top, and the mask, Typical Andy attire.
Standard Andy Dutra uniform.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Well, at least you guys had a lot of fun with it. And like you said, you're able to put some of that training, towards something. And, everything will be back. That's what I just keep reminding myself, that this is just a small period of life, and it's just important right now to be safe and keep our family safe and keep our neighbors and our community safe and healthy. And we're going to get to do all these things again. We're going to get to run races and work normally. And, for me, and maybe this is really unpopular, but not having my kids go to all their activities has been kind of a relief. I didn't realize, it's like, oh, we don't have to go anywhere tonight. My kids just started up theater again this week on Zoom, which is pretty cool. I'm glad they can do that because they're really close to those friends. But as far as, getting people in the car and in certain outfits, and these kids go this way, and we need a soccer ball, and we need a gymnastics outfit, and a full dinner for this person, or whatever it may be. They're disappointed. My daughter's volleyball season was completely canceled before their first game. And I think, even in our running community, and even you all with the marathon, there's some disappointment with these cancellations, but it's just a thing we have to do right now. And eventually we won't have to worry about it anymore.
And I don't think anyone can just be like, well, why did that happen to me? It's happening to everyone. I mean, we unfortunately, a lot of our events have been postponed. And I understand the frustration of training for something and it getting canceled, because that's exactly what happened to me. So, it is what it is. And, I think if anything, people at the end of this will be ready to get out of their houses and sign up for a race. So I can't wait till it's over and everyone can, finally break free. So,
yeah. And in the meantime, you can have all of your gear delivered to you and still keep running and training and whatever else you want to do. Courtesy of Running Zone. Exactly. Wonderful small business. Mm-hmm. And so what are the store hours right now? Or are they changing?
So we just reduced our weekday hours 10 to 5. Okay. Saturday's always been 10 to 5, and we're doing our regular Sunday hours 11 to 5. We are limiting the amount of people in the store at one time. So, we took away a couple of fitting benches. So we've got everything, really spread out, to be quite honest, in the three furthest corners of the store that you can be. And, we're just, we've got a sign on the door. If you come here and the door's locked, we're at capacity. And once we clean up and finish up, we'll be happy to let you in. Okay. We're doing daily cleaning stuff. And it's just, it's a matter of doing the best for everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know as a customer, I would appreciate that. I appreciate the places. I had a doctor's appointment and they told me, don't come in, call us when you get here, but don't come in. Mm-hmm. And then we'll call you back when it's time to come in, and I saw the person leave, and then I went in and they were wiping everything down. And then another person didn't come in till I left, and they didn't have any chairs in the waiting room, nothing. I filled out my form standing up, but I appreciated it, because I felt like, well, this is probably, I thought about canceling that appointment. And then I was like, this is probably one of the safest places I can be right now based on the care that they were taking. And it sounds like, Running Zone's the same. And at Publix, with your cart 6 feet away from, other people with their cart in line to check out. That's been fun. I feel like, standing so far apart from people. But, you don't realize, even watching TV shows, it's funny when I see people hug on TV or in a group setting, I'm just like, oh, what's going on there? Even though it's, obviously during a time that was okay. But, so what else, guys? What else is going on?
The number one thing that I've learned is that I touch my face a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's really, really hard not to touch your face. I'm trying everything, keep my hands in my pockets, just keep my arms folded, just do whatever. And, you know, not that I'm, you know, overly worried more than, you know, standard worry, but it's just something like to be mindful of, you know, even just going forward once we're through all this, that like, I think the hygiene practices of everything, it's, you know, as a, I wouldn't say I'm clean freak. I'm a clean enthusiast.
Okay.
I like cleaning. I like good clean surfaces
Right.
for the most part. You know, this is kind of like, you know, oh, guess what? We get to clean more. Sweet.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird to you know, to hear all the things about, you know, wash your hands. Like, yeah, I mean, you should always wash your hands, but
Yeah. I mean, maybe these practices will stick around after this.
Maybe.
These things, even the
Yeah.
not touching the face. I mean, even during normal flu season, or even just, you know, the dirt and the oil that you can get on your face. I know.
Yep.
I saw, well, you know, the memes have been amazing, right? The memes for coronavirus. But I saw one today, you know, I've seen 1,000 by now, but that said, you can't touch your face if you have a glass of wine in each hand. That made me laugh. So you just need, that's what you need. You need something in each hand, and then you'll be all set. What about you, John? Are you a face toucher?
I mean, yeah, I probably more like just fidgety more than anything, you know, just like not paying attention. You're just carrying on a conversation and you start touching your face or whatever. So been trying to do, been trying to be better about that. But, you know, like Pete said, it's tough and you don't realize how often you do it.
The worst by far is when we work races and like, you know, you're out in the middle of sometimes nowhere, or sometimes you just don't have a, you know, a sink to wash your hands, and your hands are getting so dirty, and then like, you know, you have a nose itch or like your eye, you just want to rub your face and you're
Yeah. Or even like registration, taking everybody's, you know, money or forms or pens. I've been thinking about that too. I'm like, I'm going to be that annoying one that shows up like with my own wipes now, because now that I've thought about it, you know, and not been doing it, it's like, well, I don't know that I really want to, like, in real life, no matter what the situation, that I want to keep doing it.
I mean, the world's changed. There's no way to get around that. I think, you know, hopefully some things will carry over and make us better, you know, going forward. These are, it's weird times, and you know, the only thing we just keep coming back to is just keep your head down, keep working, and hope for the best. So
and I think Running Zone does an amazing job of that. And I can say that I guess I work for Running Zone, but I'm not in the store with you guys, so I can brag on you all a little bit. But I think when you think of local business that you want to support, like you mentioned, Long Doggers, I know there's some restaurants over our way too. But Running Zone is definitely top of most people's mind, you know, and you're making it so easy for people to still be able to support and still keep doing all the things, like some of the few things we can do right now.
Right.
Get out and walk and run and work out. So I think that's amazing. So good job, guys. I know it takes a lot of strategizing, and it's probably fluid too, right? Like changing based on what works and
like
what
every
the
5
latest
minutes.
and what the latest, you know, procedures are this week and tomorrow and whatever. So it's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, I mean, we've been staying, you know, really well informed of the current regulations and just really paying attention to everything that's going on, whether within the county, the state, you know, Melbourne in general, and you know, we're just reacting the best we can. So
All right, we had a little technical difficulty there, but we're back. And John, because of that, I think you got interrupted. You were talking about something about exercise, or
I was saying the one thing that's like really at least exciting for me to see is how many people are out exercising right now. Even like when I was driving to the dog food store that was doing curbside pickup today, I just saw so many people out riding bikes and walking and running. And I swear it's way more than usual. And, you know, to me, like I said, it's really exciting. But at Running Zone, our mission is to promote health and fitness in Brevard. And it's really exciting to see people finally, you know, out there exercising and, you know, sweating a little bit because it was warm today.
It's really warm today.
I went for an hour-long bike ride on Sunday morning. I rode from my house to the linear trail, did the linear trail, and then came back and did some neighborhoods on the other side of Turtle Mound. And the linear trail, there was all kinds of people on it, and walking, biking, skateboarding, scootering. It was good to see that people are getting out there and getting active. I hope that people that are out there right now, because they have nothing else to do, I hope they find time once we get back to normal, and they still want to get out there and be active, because let's face it, whenever we do get back to whatever we are going to call normal, it's not going to be the same. So
right.
Yeah, I'm hoping that people carry on some of those fitness activities, and it only takes the most difficult thing for me is getting out the door, and once I'm committed to it, I'm fine. But it's taking those steps out the door, and then you're fine. So that's all it really takes.
I know for me, I'm a social exerciser though, so that has been a little bit harder because if I know I'm meeting someone, then I go. I'm not going to not go. But if it's just up to me, sometimes it's a little harder. So it's been good to kind of take a little time off if I needed it, not put too much pressure on myself, but also kind of find within myself why I exercise and like what exercise I want to do, like trying the dancing, like why not, because I am not meeting people, at 6 a.m. or whatever it is. So I can try something different. But I'm looking forward to being able to have that accountability again soon. But to your point, I hope the people who are ramping it up right now, just to get out and be doing something, will be able to keep incorporating this once we're back to normal, if you want to call it normal, whatever it looks like.
6 a.m. would be a late start for you.
That's a good point. That's a good point. In fact, I think I did the dance class at 4 a.m. the other day, so I don't really know. Stomping around the house, it's fine. My family probably is ready for me to get back out there to do my exercising too. They'll be ready. So as far as the calendar for Running Zone, let's talk about Run Brevard, because we had a whole April episode planned. Pete, you were going to be in charge of that, Doc. So what was planned? What's still happening? What's going on with all of that?
Well, there isn't much to recap from Excalibur. Obviously, what happened. We weren't able to have the event, and we were going to be previewing. We did preview Pirate Plunder last time.
That's right.
And we have a tentative reschedule date for that for May 30th downtown. So, based on how things progress and the guidance from the city and county and state, we'll determine if we're able to do that. Our guest was going to be our good friend Cliff Graham at the airport, host of the corporate 5K that was scheduled for April 16th. We have got a tentative rescheduled date of June 18th now. So Cliff does a tremendous amount of work with the FAA and FDOT getting it approved for people to run on the runway. Being an extenuating circumstance, I think they're going to help them out. And I'm hopeful that we'll still be able to have the event. And so that'll still be a Thursday night. It'll just be in June. And Run for the Gecko, which was scheduled for May 9th, our anniversary run and our anniversary sale in the store, is going to be penciled in for June 13th, pending anything else that comes up. So, it's a wait and see. We are closely in touch with people with the city and the county, and just kind of taking their input and, how do you feel about this? And they ask us the same question, and not just our races, all of our race management clients are kind of, this is uncharted territory. A lot of races have postponed. We've been able to find some new dates for a couple of them. Some of them have canceled. Some of them have done a virtual option. And it's just, I don't envy anyone in this situation. It sucks for the participant. It sucks for us. It sucks for everybody. And, there's, without getting on my soapbox too hard, there's a lot of people on social media that were upset and will continue to be upset at the event. Postponements, cancellations, virtual options, whatever. Most people have no idea what goes into putting on an endurance event, even a 5K, call that an endurance event. A lot of work year round goes in, a lot of work, not just from the race organizers, the city, with their planning and everything. So ultimately, we all want to have these events, and whenever it's deemed safe and appropriate from the authorities, we want to get back to having events. And that's what we're all about. So it's tough. It's tough to watch. I can't lie.
Like I said earlier, I just feel like a year from now, this will be a memory. Those races will be done, and we'll be planning the next round, the next gecko, the next, corporate 5K, whatever it is. And like you said, we just have to sort of get through this now. And we're all in it together. Like you said, it's hard for everyone.
On a lighter note, the first race that, everything's back, I predict race day registrations to be through the roof. So get ready.
Definitely.
I'll make sure you're working that, Katie.
Oh, great. Yeah. I'm going to bring my gloves, my wipes, and people stand 6 feet away from me, but I will smile and I will get you all registered. No problem. Well, that's awesome. Well, I miss you guys, and thanks for all the hard work you're doing. It's been good to see you tonight. Was there anything else we wanted to tell our listeners before we're back? And we might be doing this again in May. Who knows? Later in April. We'll see. That's it. Okay. Well, make sure that if you aren't already listening to Run Brevard, you head to runbrevard.com. It's also on Running Zone's website under the podcast tab. And subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcast, because eventually we'll be coming at you with our audio again. Yep. And
John completed your little project today, so now you can.
Good. That's some of it, at least, right?
Some of it. Yeah, probably by the time this is up, it should be ready. We actually have our athlete spotlights, who are the individuals each month that tell us their running stories. We have their individual audio available now on the Running Zone website. So you'll be able to go through and listen and binge listen if you want, and get some motivation from some of these amazing athletes and people that we have in our area. So make sure you check that out too. And we'll be promoting that on social as well once it's all set.
John and I did an Instagram live last Friday in the store.
That's right.
It's possible that could happen again.
That would be great. That was
Might
fun.
become a Friday thing. We'll see.
Could be.
I enjoyed that. The Avril Lavigne thing, I couldn't sleep that night. I was going down the rabbit hole looking that up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like it might be true. I feel like it might be true.
Let's mark this one plausible.
Plausible. Not definite, but plausible. And if you don't know what we're talking about, listeners, just Google Avril Lavigne. What do you look for, John?
Avril Lavigne body double.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Avril Lavigne.
And that's all you need to know. You'll find all sorts of things if you just look that up.
So
I think I looked up Avril Lavigne really dead ? And I got all sorts of things for that.
So in your professional opinion, what's more plausible, Avril Lavigne being a body double right now, or the Stevie Wonder situation we discussed on the last episode? Oh
my gosh.
I know for a fact that you did take my advice and you did Google it, and you were reading and you did see some of those videos.
I did. More plausible, probably the body double thing, but I think more.
Okay.
More. Only because when I really looked at those, I was like immediately convinced. The Stevie Wonder thing takes some digging. It's funny, yeah, and I almost think I'm ashamed to think that one would be real, and so it like puts a little wall up, like. No, Katie, don't go there. Don't think that. Whereas like the Avril Lavigne thing, I can just, not feel bad about being like, oh yeah, that's what they did.
I would feel like more betrayed with the Stevie Wonder thing than the Avril Lavigne thing.
I think that's it too. I'd be more disappointed. I mean, obviously, if Avril Lavigne really instead, it's very disappointing and sad. But I think I would. Yeah, it would just be a huge letdown.
But you would have been like duped. You would be tricked. You know, like this guy's been playing blind this whole time, just because.
I feel like it reflects poorly on me, so maybe that's why I'm trying to avoid that. Okay. I don't need anything like that in my life, but all right.
Well, I'll be sure to find the new one for the next time we all get together.
I'll send you some ideas that I've had too. Well, it looks like the sun has set on you there, Kate.
Yes, the sun is definitely going down on me here.
Awesome. All right. Well, it was good to talk to you guys tonight, and good to talk to you listeners and viewers. And we'll be back in some iteration soon, Instagram Live or video or audio. And just keep listening, runbrevard.com, and head into Running Zone. Well,
cheers.
Don't head into Running Zone, but yes, cheers. My water. Where's your LaCroix, John? Gone?
It is gone, but there it is.
There it is. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye,
cool.
everybody.
See ya.